Okay. Okay. I went to MMA fight for the first time when I was 16, and I saw BJ Penn and Matt Hughes fight. It was my first fight, and I really enjoyed it. I loved everyone's excitement. I loved everything about it. I was yelling, screaming, I was like, yeah. And first time, I was like, Mom, I think I'm going to sign up for kickboxing. So I did. I joined, and my trainer name was Dot. I have a picture, but I'm going to bring it. So first, I'll be talking to you about kickboxing. First, I'll talk to you about the history, how it's good for your physical shape, and how it can help an autistic child or person. First off, it started in 1257 to 1377 AD, where a king called the Tiger King, he would go in like incognito and fight people, and then later on he taught this to his army to defend his village. And then later in the 1920s it was actually in schools, but obviously it was withdrawn because of too many injuries. Then later it became an international sport because you see it every day on television. Next, I will talk to you about physical shape, and I read this on an article from Healthy.com from Tony Moore. And okay, well, there's an experience when I was starting to train and like sparring with people. I went to the owner of the company, and I was like, hey, not the owner, but the guy that was working there. And I was like, hey, is there like, because I was only there like once a day because I had soccer and school and all that stuff, so I didn't have really that much time. So I was like, hey, do you have like any other advice, like I can kind of stay in shape and continue, being in shape for this kind of workout? He's like, yeah, take a cardio class at like maybe 24-hour fitness. And I was like, okay. So I go to those cardio kickboxing classes, and so I go and I'm like ready and excited. And the beat starts and everything, and everyone's in there like all like looks like pretty much experienced, and I'm really new, and I'm by myself, I have no friends, and I'm in there, and then the guy starts, and I'm like, oh my god. So he starts and he goes fast and slow, and I'm just really out there, and I'm like really lost. So I go back and I'm like, how can you tell me to go to this class? It's like so not what I wanted to do. But it could be for you, it could not, but it wasn't for me. But for those cardio classes, they usually have like beat to like the club or dances, like Usher, like oh my, so I do that. But the kind of workout they do are like jabs, punches, uppercuts, which help your abdominal muscles, and then the other workout that it consists of are like your kicks, front kicks, and it can help you with your hamstrings, and ladies, it can help you with your butt. And it also, with these classes, it really works up the sweat because I came out of there drenched in sweat, and so I knew I had a good workout. And it made me feel really good and feel like, oh wow, I did something. And the last thing I would talk about is going to be how it can help someone with autism. So it can help with someone with autism because it can help them with the range and motion. And with the repetitive drills, it teaches the students control of their body. And it can also help them feel a little bit more confident in themselves and gain discipline. And pretty much, yeah, kickboxing can improve the autistic behavior. So overall, I discussed with you today a little bit of history, how it can work out your physical shape and tone your body, and how it can help someone with an autistic problem in their life. And it can help you gain your self-confidence, just like me. I recently stopped doing a class, or taking a training, so I don't do it anymore, and I miss it, but school and work come first. So that was my speech. Thank you.
Thank you.
But now I do.
All right, Alisha, the opening, I think, is a little problematic. I couldn't even make out what your topic was the first time you said it. Your voice was so quiet. And I'm working on projecting my voice over the sound of everybody else's voice, so I could imagine how hard it would be for somebody to hear. So you need to project a lot more at the beginning of the speech especially, and that's one of those things that you do is you tend to drop your voice as you go back to your notes also. The content is okay, it's just a little thin. On your point, for instance, about helping somebody who has autism, I didn't really get much development of that at all. There's just a vague reference that you've got. On the visual factors, you start off with your legs crossed awkwardly. You look uncomfortable from the very beginning. You're kind of hiding behind the podium. I didn't want people to use the podium, and that's where you have got your notes, and you keep having to go back there, and I think it makes you a little bit dependent in that situation. And every time you go back, it looks like you're exhibiting some anxiety about being up in front of the audience, and you have to keep looking down at your notes. I thought your facial expressions were very vivid, and you had some good gestures. I appreciated the descriptive gestures that you had when you were talking about the cardio class, for instance. I thought that was kind of fun. Like I said, you need to project your voice a little bit more. You're not always consistent on the pacing. Anxiety seems to be coming out in your feet, in your body, in your eye contact, in your voice. You just don't look comfortable while you're giving the presentation. And part of it is that it really feels like the speech is underprepared, like you have an impromptu version of the speech here. You know what you want to say, and you're hoping that it's going to fit together, but you didn't practice it, you didn't think about everything in the kind of detail that you want, and you didn't give yourself a chance to really shine in front of the audience. It really feels a little bit more like you're just trying to get through it instead of giving us something special to watch during the presentation. And as an audience member, that's a disappointment because I want somebody to really put in the effort there, and it just feels like I'm watching you in the first or second time you're going through the speech instead of when you've really got it polished. And you need to I think, come a little bit more prepared for this situation. All right, thank you.